Brought to you by Penguin.
Believable Lies by Terry Stiastny. Read by Anna Wilson-Jones. Introduction. The Boys in the Back Room. Late in the morning of the 1st of September 1939, a young intelligence officer received orders by telegram. The messages, sent both to his North London home and office, told him, "Mobilise today, 7 p.m. Germany had invaded Poland, and war was imminent." The 27-year-old, who had been working in intelligence for less than 6 months, knew what he had to do. His instructions told him to report at the Sugarloaf Hotel in Dunstable, and to ask for Mr. Gibbs Smith. If he found that the gentleman was not there, he should stay put and await orders. Do not, the instructions insisted, make inquiries of anybody. Robert Walmsley set off for Dunstable, a market town around 30 miles north of London, in his ancient Morris, bought for £15 from the proceeds of his secret work. He had been told to bring along a suitcase containing clothes for a fortnight, including soap and towels, his gas mask, and sandwiches for one meal. He was not the only one on his way. Vernon Bartlett, a prolific journalist and the defiantly independent MP for Bridgewater, was also driving to Dunstable. He had expected the roads out of London to be crowded with evacuees fleeing the capital, but he found the route so empty of traffic that he was an hour early and had time for a nap before his rendezvous. Bartlett pulled up in a country lane and asked a farmer to wake him after 3/4 of an hour. At the appointed time, Bartlett reached the Sugarloaf on Dunstable High Street, a red-brick Georgian coaching inn with a white portico. Inside, he gave the receptionist the code word. The receptionist was unflustered. "You're another of the Cloak and Dagger boys," he asked wryly. "You'll find them all in the back room." On entering, Bartlett found a dozen or so of his friends clustered around a large map. The map was not, as he might have expected, of Germany, but of nearby Woburn Abbey and its grounds. Bartlett, Walmsley, and their future colleagues were to work at the Abbey in a secret government department, producing British wartime propaganda to the enemy. They started with little, equipped only with a couple of typewriters, a box of pins, and a few pencils. The map was to protect the sensibilities of their reluctant host, the 81-year-old Duke of Bedford. It showed the recruits how to enter and leave the grounds without walking in front of his windows. The Duke had only accepted the dreadful temporary civil servants to avoid being afflicted with evacuee children from the East End of London. These dreadful civil servants, once they reached the Abbey, were required to sign the Official Secrets Act, if they hadn't already, before they could begin to discover more about what their wartime role would be. Woburn Abbey was referred to throughout the war as the Country HQ, often shortened to just the Country. From its initial country base within the grounds of Woburn, the organisation spread out into the surrounding countryside, creating a hush-hush village, populated by an eccentric mix of journalists, politicians, intelligence officers, authors, advertisers, artists, and forgers. While many were British, among their number were emigres and refugees from across occupied Europe, who wanted to help liberate their homelands. Robert Bruce Lockhart arrived at Woburn a week after the outbreak of war. He was met at Dunstable Station by his new boss, Rex Leeper, a career diplomat and a long-time friend. Bruce Lockhart, at 52, was a well-known personality, both in London society and in the media. As the British envoy to the Bolsheviks during the Russian Revolution, accused of plotting the overthrow of the nascent communist state, he had been imprisoned in the Kremlin before being released in a prisoner exchange in 1918. His 1932 book about his Russian exploits had been turned into a film, British Agent, 2 years later, starring Leslie Howard as the hero.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?